Okay, my next question tells me that the first two terms of a geometric sequence are 2.1 and 2.226, and part A asks me to find the value of r. I know that u2 is equal to u1 multiplied by r, and therefore r is equal to u2 divided by u1, which is 2.226 divided by 2.1. 2.226 divided by 2.1 gives me 1.06 exactly. Part B asks me to find u10. I know un is equal to u1 times r to the power of n minus 1, and therefore u10 is equal to u1 2.1 times 1.06 to the power of 9, which is 2.1 times 1.06 to the power of 9, to 3SF 3.55. Part C asks me to find the least value of n such that Sn is greater than 5543. I'm immediately thinking, okay, inequality, paper 2, I'm going to be plotting a graph. Sn is a formula given in my formula book, so Sn is equal to u1 r to the n minus 1 over r minus 1, and therefore in this case I have u1 2.1 to the power of 1.06 to the n minus 1 all over 1.06 minus 1, and that must be greater than 5543. Now, because I have my GDC, I don't need to go any further than that. I'm going to go into my menu. I'm going to go and draw a graph. That's 5. And I want to draw two graphs. I want to draw 2.1. Well, let's set that up as a fraction. So I want 2.1, open brackets, 1.06. And then I'm going to put that to the x minus 1. And that's all over 1.06 minus 1, which is just 0.06. And I want that to be greater than 5543. So I also want y is equal to 5543. And then I'm going to find where those two graphs cross, and therefore where Sn becomes larger. So I draw my graphs. It doesn't appear to have been massively useful because my window isn't in the correct format. I know that one of my lines is going through y is equal to 5543, so I'm going to go to my window and I see here I'm nowhere near 5543. On the Casio calculator, it's always worth checking your zoom, going to zoom auto and seeing if that solves the problem for you. In this case it doesn't seem to have done much, so I'm going to go to my window. I now have, let's say 5600. That's my y min. I may as well use 0 there. I know I'm going to fit in, but my x values appear to not be helping me. So I'm going to try minus 100 and 100 and see where I end up with that. And indeed, I have found what I intended to find. So I know then that my left-hand side, 2.1 brackets 1.06 to the n minus 1, all over 1.06 minus 1, becomes greater than 5543 after the point where those two intersect. To find that point, I use gsolve intersect, and it will tell me where that is. To show that I've used this in the exam, I just draw my axes, I sketch my graph, which helpfully been obscured. There you go. Doesn't need to be a massively accurate sketch, and I label my point of intersection, which is 87.03162.064.5543. So I know then that if n is bigger than 87.03162.064, that Sn will be greater than 5543. But if n is 87, it won't be. It'll be just slightly below that value, and therefore my minimum value of n is equal to 88. Looking at the mark scheme, then you are given a mark for your valid approach to find r, and you could just write down what r was and you get full marks. Equally, part B, valid substitution, writing down your answer gives you full marks. And then part C, you did need to show some working, setting up your inequality, a sketch of Sn and y is equal to 5543, then having your correct critical value of n, and therefore n is equal to 88. And that's another 7 marks, effectively for using a couple of formulae given in your formula book and your GDC.